Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. It's the most important news and editorial of the day that is relevant for both prelims and mains examination will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with news topic list. Today is 1st of June. The first news is Center clear entire GST compensation due. Second, quarter 4 GDP growth declared to 4.1%, declarates to 4.1%. This is what the NSO data has to say. Third, center issues guideline to manage monkeypox cases. Fourth, India-China to hold next round of talks. And the last is an editorial, India EV ambitions on 3 wheels. So we'll see and understand the India's roadmap for the electronic vehicles. Apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further delay, let's get started. And if you're new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do not forget to press a like button. So starting with the first news of the day, that is Center clear entire GST compensation due. This was a long pending demand which was coming from the states. Important for General Studies paper 3, that is inclusive growth and issues arising from it. So the central government has recently released the entire amount of GST compensation. GST के जितने भी compensation amount pending थे states के साथ, till 31st of May, the central government has cleared all its due. And this total amount is a value of 86,912 crore rupees. I'll just also let you know कि कौन कौन से states में कितनी bifurcation हुई है और कौन से ऐसे states हैं जिनको सबसे ज़्यादा GST की शेस में शेयर मिली है. We'll see that also. Now, the decision was taken to assist the states in managing their resources, ensuring कि जो हर एक states के अपनी welfare programs है वो proper तरीके से implement हो, especially in terms of expenditure on the capital that is carried out for successful during the financial year, because many states during COVID-19 has complained कि जो GST के compensations हैं वो उन्हें नहीं मिल रहे हैं, and the reason being the states were not able to even perform well. So these were the complaints that were coming from the states. Now finally the central government has cleared all its dues. Now goods and services tax की बात करें, actually this was incepted in 2017, start की गई थी. इस समय ये पूरे इंडिया में पैन इंडिया वन नेशन वन टैक्स के बाद के साथ जीएसटी की इम्प्लीमेंटेशन. एंड दिस ऑल्सो एश्योर्ड दैट जो कंपनसेशन होंगे, जो भी कंपनसेटरी लॉस होंगे स्टेट्स को, वो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट बियर करेगी फॉर 5 years. सो दिस इज व्हाट द कंसेंसस वाज मेड बिफोर दिस एक्ट वाज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड. नाउ अंडर द जीएसटी कंपनसेशन ये मैकेनिज्म है, बेसिकली जो शॉर्टफॉल होगी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के पास सेस में लेकर, that 14% of the amount would be given to the states government by the center in terms of their revenue. जो annual revenue generate होगी सेस से, उसमें से 14% states के साथ share किए जाएंगे for the next 5 years. This is what constitutionally was guaranteed by the central government to the states government. So if you're writing in mains paper, this data become factually important for you. Now compensations to the states की अगर बात करें, for providing compensation to the states, cess is being levied on certain goods. बहुत सारे ऐसे cess है, education cess, coal cess, even for the healthcare, health cess is there. तो कुछ ऐसे important cess है जो central government collect करती है, and this amount which is being collected is credited to a compensation fund. Right? Compensation fund to the state is being paid out from the compensation fund with respect to 1st July 2017. Now, in order to meet the gap, states were in short of this compensation, and central government has even borrowed some amount, that is 1.1 lakh की एक amount central government ने first borrow की थी RBI से. Again, the other amount that was borrowed was 1.59%. So this was the amount that was actually raised to meet the state's requirement. So I think most of you must be aware of the fact that this was there frequently in the news, right? And as all the states have agreed for the above decision, the center has also been releases the regular GST compensation to fund and meet the shortfall of the state's government. So this is how the entire thing has functioned over the due course of time. Now you can see here, this is about the entire amount that was being given. So dues from month of February and May, this is 17,973 crore rupees due from February to March 21. These are some of the bifurcations और जो total amount central government ने release की है that is 86,912 crore rupees. Now, state-wise breakup, that which states has got the highest revenue, अगर बात करें जो compensation दी गई है, so it is important for prelims as well. तो सबसे ज़्यादा जो सेस गई है वो महाराष्ट्र के पास है. बाकी accordingly you can check which all states has got how much. Top 5 would be important for your examination. You have to at least remember top 5 because if you're writing in mains paper also, it would be again very relevant for you. Just to give you clarity, जो second है वो तमिलनाडु है, then third would goes to almost Uttar Pradesh, then Karnataka, followed by Delhi. So these are the top of states which has got their share of what the central government has recently given. Now, quarter 4 GDP growth decelerate to 4.1%. This is important for General Studies Paper 3, Indian Economy and Issues Related to Planning, Mobilization, Resource Growth and Development. So NSO ने अपनी recently data release किया in terms of economic growth and it has projected that the growth has slowed to 4.1% on year-on-year basis from January to March quarter. This is the slowest pace of the growth that Indian economy has seen post-COVID economic recovery. Right? जिस तरह से post-COVID recovery हो रही है उसके बाद ये growth काफ़ी lower है. Anticipation ये की गई थी कि इससे और ज़्यादा होगी. But in the next quarter we can anticipate that this number is going to increase. So the low economic growth was mainly due to the risk rising from the higher price of the crude oil also. Crude oil की prices भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा बढ़ी हैं amid the tension that has escalated between Russia and Ukraine. So that has also led to the price of crude oil and even the commodities price was on the higher side. Now कुछ other GDP के data अगर देखें जो recently NSO ने release किए. So as per the NSO data, it says that the third quarter of financial year 2022 GDP growth has slowed to 5.4% from 8.5% in the second quarter and 20.3% in first quarters. Now, as per the data, Indian economy has expanded by 8.7% in 2021 and 22 against the contraction which was 6.6%. ये कुछ factual data है. You need to pause this video. You need to read it again. Then only you will make your mind to understand it, right? तो इस तरह की चीज़ों को आप 2-3 बार पढ़ के ही याद कर सकते हैं. Now, the growth in the financial year was something anticipated for 8.7%. The second advanced estimate for the NSO is projected to be the around 8.9%. This is for the current year. Let's see how the growth is going to be. And 8.7 growth also falls way for the Reserve Bank of India estimations, जहाँ पे RBI ने पहले projections की थी 9.5% की. But now, after the all estimations and quarters performance, the final projection is for 8.7% of the growth. Now talking about GVA, which is an important component. So the gross value added in the economy is estimated to have grown by 8.1% for 21-22, slightly lower than anticipation, that is 8.3%, which was actually even projected by the NSO. NSO ने earlier ये projection की थी, but growth अब जो है, जो anticipation है वो 8.1% की है. The GDP has shrunk to 6.6% for 2021 and GVA has contracted to 4.8% in the wake of COVID-19 lockdown. So till this financial year, we can expect the repercussions of post recovery जो हो रही है economy and even some impact will also be seen because of the ongoing crisis arising from Russia and Ukraine. Investment rate की अगर बात करें, the finance ministry has highlighted that the investment rate for the economy has rose up to 33.6% in quarter 4 and this is highest since quarter 3 जबकि इससे कम rate देखी गई थी. Moreover, the manufacturing sector has shrunk from earlier year. It was sequentially from 14.2% during the quarter 4. So this is an infograph which is there in the newspaper also, which predict that 4.1 is a fourth quarter from the 5.4. और quarterly growth जो annual growth जो accelerated है, that is 8.7%. From earlier it was 6.6%. So you can see this is a minus growth, minus 23.8% growth that we have seen during the COVID-19 pandemic. Before COVID, the growth rate was 8.9% for the Indian economy. We were chasing for the target of $5 trillion economy. बट अगेन अनफॉर्चुनेटली पेंडेमिक की वजह से ये पॉसिबल नहीं हो पाई, और अभी प्रेजेंट में मार्च में एंटिसिपेशन की गई है जो करेक्ट डेटा आए एनएसओ के, दैट शोज दैट इंडिया हैज ग्रोथ एज अ 4.1% ऑफ द ग्रोथ रेट. Center issues guideline to manage monkeypox cases. Again, important for General Studies Paper 2. Issues related to development and management of health. So the Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has recently issued a guideline for the management of monkeypox diseases. एक ऐसी डिजीज है जो कि काफ़ी ज़्यादा इन्फेक्शियस है और इसके प्रॉब्लम्स बहुत सारे कंट्रीज में देखे जा रहे हैं. It's a viral zoonotic disease with the symptoms similar to the smallpox. And the ministry has said that clinical specimens should be transported to the laboratory, that is ICMR, NIV में जो laboratories हैं वहाँ पे कोई भी अगर cases इंडिया में रिपोर्ट होती है, इनफैक्ट no cases has been reported, अगर रिपोर्ट होती है तो ये सारे जो कलेक्शंस होंगे डेटा वो सीधा NIV पुणे में भेजे जाएंगे. And there's an integrated disease surveillance program network that would be working in respective district as well as in the states. Surveillance and rapid identification is the only way out. So the guideline issues by the ministry have laid stress on the surveillance, जहाँ पे ये कहा गया है कि जो नई केसेस आए उसे हमें सर्वेलेंस करना होगा, उन्हें मॉनिटर करना होगा so that it does not get transmitted to the number of people. As the guideline contracted to be monitored at least a day before the onset of the signs and symptoms, a period of 21 days during the infectious date would also be looked up. तो एक जो लुकआउट पीरियड होगी इस डिजीज के एक्सपेंशन को लेकर के 21 डेज तक की वेरिएशंस में देखी जा सकती है. The guideline further expanded the detail about raising awareness and educating people about the monkeypox virus. So first and foremost, it is very important that we should include an awareness program where everyone is adequately informed about the smallpox virus, right? तो monkeypox virus जो है एक तरह से similar है जिस तरह से smallpox viruses होते हैं. This the same family is for the virus, but again it is very important that we should have an awareness campaign to ensure कि इसकी infection rate काफ़ी कम रहे. Now it also stress upon contracting a material on the sick people. जो आइसोलेटेड और इन्फेक्टेड पर्सन है उसे हमें गुड हाइजीन देने की ज़रूरत है. इवन यूजिंग पीपी किट फॉर द केयरिंग पेशेंट. ऐसे कोई इंडिविजुअल जिनके घर में इन्फेक्शन हुई हैं उनको अगर केयर करना, कोई इंडिविजुअल अगर केयर कर रहे हैं, ही शुड बी यूजिंग पीपी किट टू प्रोटेक्ट हिमसेल्फ एंड अदर फैमिली मेम्बर्स. Now you can look into the picture. This will give you an idea how the monkeypox actually spread. So this is primarily the typical rodents. Either it is infected through bites, scratches and consumption of bushmeat, right? Human to human transmission possible है इसमें, and even close contact with the infected respiratory tract and skin lining can lead to the monkeypox. Symptoms अगर बात करें monkeypox के, fever, chill, even muscle ache is there, rashes is there, backache is there, intense headache and swollen lymph nodes. So these are some of the symptoms that is being seen. And even monkeypox, you've seen the pimples are on the bigger size and is filled with liquid, which is again transmissible. Another news, that is India-China to hold next round of talk, important for General Studies Paper 2, India and its neighborhood relations. So recently, India and China has agreed to hold the next round of senior commander meeting on an earlier date to achieve a complete disengagement from the friction of Eastern Ladakh region and for the normalcy that should continue between India and China. This is something which has continued for none less than 3 years almost, but इसमें बहुत slow progress हुई है, and for all the aspirants who having optional as an IR, जो पॉलिटिकल साइंस और IR के ऑप्शनल है, उनके लिए ये टॉपिक काफ़ी ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है कि इंडिया चाइना के रिलेशंस में जिस तरह से स्लो देखी गई LAC को लेकर के, व्हाट वाज द रीज़न बेसिकली, बिकॉज इट इज़ बीइंग एंटिसिपेटेड कि चाइना ने अपने कंस्ट्रक्शन वर्क पूरे कंप्लीट किए हैं टू कनेक्ट द रीजन फ्रॉम ईस्टर्न लद्दाख टू चाइना, राइट? सो India has been consistently maintaining the peace and tranquility in terms of LAC, where the key overall development between the bilateral ties was the main aim. Even both countries look forward, but the resolution जिस तरह से आनी चाहिए, जो consensus बननी चाहिए बड़े topics पे, वो actual में नहीं हो पाया. Now, working mechanism for the consultation and coordination, already 25 meeting has been held for this, and the meeting of India-China border was again no concrete evidence was there, and even कोई conclusive इसमें stand off के time में जो एक reasons आनी चाहिए, even the conclusion was not there, right? So no concrete forward movement in resolving the lingering border standoff was there, And the Ministry of External Affairs has said that two sides review the situation accordingly. And the western sector of India-China border has agreed to hold the next round of senior commander talk at the earliest date, so that a final resolution and conclusion is coming between India and China. Now, troops के deployment की बात करें, each side has almost 50 to 60,000 troops along the line of actual control in the sensitive sector. And even in terms of disengagement for the patrolling point 15 and another hot spring area, it is contagious topic. Let's see how the resolution is coming in this sector also. Now, moving to the editorial of the day, that is India's EV ambition ride on three-wheelers. Something important for General Studies Paper 2, government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from design and implementations. So I'll be simplifying this editorial under 7 important subheads. The first is FAME 2 extension, dominance of E3 wheelers, EV registration in states, focuses of EV policies, factor for the success of E3 wheelers, issues related to be addressed, and even the way forward. The entire editorial focuses upon the EV roadmap in India. अगर बात करें इंडिया की जो टारगेट है इलेक्ट्रॉनिक व्हीकल्स को रिन्यू करने की अंडर इट्स फेज 2, दैट इज फास्टर एडॉप्टेशन ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हाइब्रिड इलेक्ट्रॉनिक, जिसको फेम भी कहते हैं. So this scheme was actually envisaged where the government has approved 10,000 crore rupees in 2019. The scheme of FAME was initially launched in 2015, which was approved with an outlay of 895 crore rupees. Now you can see this number has drastically increased because government is looking forward to enhance this level. Although FAME की अगर बात करें, currently India is running with FAME 2 policies. Now India has doubled its EV ambitions, focusing on cultivating the demand जो electronic vehicles हैं, even for the international commitment that we have made in the COP26, that is net zero emissions by 2070 and other targets by 2050. तो उसको अचीव करने के लिए इस तरह की पॉलिसी काफ़ी ज़्यादा रियलिस्टिक होगी. एंड इवन फॉर मेंस एग्जामिनेशन मेक श्योर आप इस तरह के पॉइंट्स हाईलाइट करें जहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट के जो डेडिकेटेड लॉन्ग टर्म एफर्ट्स हैं विच यू कैन हाईलाइट इन द पेपर ऑल्सो. Now, what is FAME? Just to give you an idea, those of you who don't know, FAME is like faster adoption of manufacturing electronic hybrid vehicles in India under the National Electric Mobility Plan. NEMMP के अंदर आती हैं. कुछ टारगेट्स हैं इसके 6 to 7 million hybrid electric vehicles by 2020, 9,500 million liter estimated cumulating of fuel saving. This is for 2020 only. So just I'm getting into the background of it, right? 2 million tons of reductions for the pollution and greenhouse gases emissions, and 65,000 direct and 3 lakh indirect jobs would also be created. Now FAME 2 की जो extension की गई है इस editorial में उसके बारे में detail में बताई गई. So the FAME 2 extension initially envisaged for 3 years, that has got 2-year extension in June 21. Owing the number during the pandemic, we have seen that the implementation was not proper. So it aims to support 10 lakh E2 wheelers, 5 lakh 3 e-wheelers और 55,000 4 e-wheelers passengers, और जो 7,000 buses हैं उनको भी support करेगी. Even for the state of Delhi, we have seen some electronic buses are there in the public transport. 3 years into the FAME, the number has been lagging behind, और original जो targets है उसे भी achieve करने में भी थोड़ी और time लगेगी. As a part of FAME 2, the government has made push for the indigenous manufacturing, where the automakers would also be taken into considerations, और खास करके ये सारी initiatives जो हैं वो indigenous करने की कोशिश की जा रही है. Now, dominance of E3 wheeler, I think it is evident most of you must have seen this change कि आज जिस तरह से routes में आप e-rickshaws देखते हैं या E3 wheelers देखते हैं, this number has drastically increased. So the E3 wheelers auto rickshaws account to close to almost 65% of the registered EV that is in India. जितने भी electronic vehicles registered हैं उसमें 65% जो नंबर्स हैं वो ई रिक्शास की है, जो कि पैन इंडिया हर एक छोटे और बड़े शहरों में दिस इज देयर, राइट. सो फॉर द माइनर tier 2 tier 3 cities, everywhere you can find that e-rickshaw has already flooded and flourished. So in this context, the two-wheelers e-com has come to a second distance where almost it was 30%, और four-wheelers की बात करें तो इसमें मार्जिन है 2.5% की. So these are the number for the other vehicles. Now FAME 2 के टारगेट्स के अंदर 3 wheelers vehicle has crossed up to 4 lakh vehicles and 5 lakh is there for 2019. So this was actually anticipated way back. Now at the current rate, the 3 wheelers is expected to breach 5 lakh mark by 2023. Now EV registration अगर बात करें हर states में क्या performance है. So this data shows that Assam, Bihar, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal account for 80% of the 3 wheelers vehicle registration, and UP alone account for the 40% of registration. Again, factually important. Now of this state, Assam, Delhi, UP, West Bengal has formalized EV policy, जहाँ पे बिहार ने अभी recently इसको finalize किया introductions के लिए. And even with the financial assistance, FAME 2, the local manufacturer has built truly EV in a unique design catering to the Indian commuters' need. और एक जितने सारे states हैं जिनके population जैसे बढ़ रहे हैं उसी हिसाब से ये ज़रूरत है कि affordable public transport को भी आगे बढ़ाया जाए. Now focus on EV policies. The focus on EV there is for all the states. और सारे states ने अपने rules में exemptions दी हैं, tax के exemptions हैं और registration fee में भी exemptions दी जा रही हैं. Even for the states of Assam, Delhi, West Bengal, they have some incentive on the batteries also. And UP government has come up with subsidies offering interest-free loan via its state government mechanism. And some states are also providing subsidy up to 30% where to the families with a single girl child. So अलग-अलग criteria है हर states के to give the subsidy. Now these states have performed exceptionally well in the FAME 2 scheme and are in way to achieve the 5 lakh e-vehicles by 2023. अब कुछ ऐसे फैक्टर्स जिसने मदद की है E3 व्हीलर के नंबर्स को बढ़ाने में. So the success has first been contributed by the development of both demand and supply. The people were there, even the demand has taken a toll. Subsidies and exemption has also motivated people to buy this. Interest-free loan that has successfully relied on the demand for these vehicles, and indigenous design that allowed for a local manufacturing. So once it is a locally manufactured, it becomes cheaper and even it become affordable to buy. Now issues that need to be addressed urgently. First is a policy. Passenger safety is a big issue. Subsequently, EV, therefore special attention is required. Lack of poor oversight from regulatory framework in terms of manufacturing is essentially required, and future policies must be there to incorporate appropriate design as passenger safety. Now way forward, the future EV policies must take into considerations जहाँ पे जो emerging stakeholders की जो demand है supply side को लेकर के demand को लेकर के that should be effectively implemented, and even some people have complained about the batteries and even the price that is there. It should be so affordable that almost the people could afford and even they could continue with their livelihood. With the prevailing trajectory of EV, India must learn a lessons from its E3 wheeler success story, which can be a success for global practices also. तो जिस तरह से इंडिया में ये इसने प्रेसिडेंस सेट की है वो ग्लोबली एग्जाम्पल भी हो सकती है, बट अगेन वी हैव टू सस्टेन दिस EV ambitions by the dedicated target that has been set by the government under various policies. Now moving to the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday questions. For first question, the correct option is C. For second question also, the correct option is C. Today's MCQ for practice, National Monsoon Mission. It was launched by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. It aims to develop state-of-art dynamic monsoon prediction system for short, medium and long range forecast. So do check it out, which among the following is the correct options. Second, Amal Hope has recently been seen in the news with regards to which of the following countries: Iran, UAE, Pakistan or Sri Lanka. So do check it out for the correct options. This was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other concern, you can let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.